to run up the score. For tuning in. I wanted to talk about Caleb Plant. He stopped Feigenbutz stopped him in this fight. I think it was a 10th round stoppage. Impressive performance by Caleb Plant. What I loved about this was they did everything right. They put him in with the fighter that he was supposed to look impressive against on network TV in Nashville, his hometown. This was a great fight for a lot of eyes to see him that haven't seen him before. A lot of casual fans that tune in, watch this guy fight. He's an exciting fighter. He's a fun fighter. And it looks like he's a very good fighter. A lot of potential with this guy. So the atmosphere came through the screen, and he's just a step away, man, from being a star, really. Everything is there. He just needs that signature win that he doesn't have yet, and that's why I'm reluctant to speak on where this guy is as far as talent, because he just doesn't have that signature win. He doesn't have a really good win, to be honest. His best win is Mike Lee. So we have to sort of off on saying this guy is a great fighter or even close to great yet. But there's a lot of potential there, and the ceiling is high with this guy. I think we're going to see Benavidez next. However, let's look at this fight first. What we saw with Caleb Plant was the athleticism being off the charts, high ring IQ and ring generalship. He knows when to use lateral movement and get out of there. He knows when to let his hands go, throw combination punches. Very good combination puncher. Very good. And it's interesting that, you know, him and Canelo may be on a collision course for 2021. More on Canelo in a minute, because I got to talk about that. But it's funny that they'll be on a collision course because they use a lot of the same combination punches. If you watch Caleb Plant combinations, he'll throw multiple punches with the same hand simultaneously. So Canelo is famous for that. Canelo's a great combination puncher. So what he'll do is he'll throw that left jab, and then he'll go downstairs with the left hook, or upstairs with the left hook. He'll also do a thing that Canelo is great for, is he can use the jab as a power punch, but also he can shade the left uppercut and make it look like a jab as it's coming off, and then come up with the left uppercut. He'll make the uppercut at the beginning seem like it's a jab, and then all of a sudden getting hit with an uppercut. Throws great uppercuts, great combination puncher. I mean, he can throw off 5-6 punches at once, and he can throw off 3 left hands simultaneously. Bam, bam, bam. I mean, I saw him throw the left jab, go to the body with the left hook, and then come back up with the uppercut, all with the same hand. Now, we got to put that in perspective, in that look at who he's fighting. The talent of his opposition hasn't been great yet. Feigenbutz just was a guy that's very stationary, was going to stand in front of him. So it's easier to get off those combination punches. And to compare him to Canelo, once again, Caleb Plant, early in his career, Canelo was seen as a great combination puncher, which he is. But as he stepped up his competition, you saw it against Austin Trout, Erislandy Lara, wasn't as much of a combination puncher, right? Became more economical, used his lateral movement, used more of his power, and was very much more economical. And I think Caleb Plant will be like that as he steps up his competition, and we'll be able to see the diversity of what he has, being that Canelo can win an economical fight, or he can win as a combination puncher, more offensive. And Caleb Plant has a lot of that same thing going on. Very athletic fighter, good footwork, fast hands, a lot to like about Caleb Plant. But let's talk about the future. I hope we see Benavidez next. That would be a great unification fight. I'd like to see him unify in 2020. Try to beat Benavidez, where I would favor him in that fight. You know, I agree with the commentators in this fight, in that they all said pretty much that they thought Caleb Plant was the best at 168. Talent-wise, it looks that way, but Callum Smith, Benavidez are more tested at this point in their career. So I'd like to see him unify against Benavidez, unify against Smith, Hopefully you get the unification fights in 2020 and build towards a possible, I mean, that would be a super fight, mega fight between Caleb Plant, if he unifies, and Canelo Alvarez. Both, Canelo's already got the base there. He's already a superstar. But like I said, Caleb Plant is a fight or two away. Two names on his resume from being a star in boxing. It's all there for him. Much like we saw with Ryan Garcia. And more on that in another video, where I love that they had Caleb Plant fight in Nashville, Garcia fight in Anaheim. I love seeing these fights instead of the casino fights. The atmosphere just comes through the screen, and that's how you build fighters into stars. They do it overseas all the time, and they know how to do it over there. I want to see more American promoters do that. But Caleb Plant, everything is there for this guy to be a star. He just has to have those one or two names on his resume unify and get that fight with Canelo. But look, what I don't like about what Caleb Plant said after the fight, they asked him about Canelo, and he said he won't be ready for a May fight with Canelo. I don't like that. I don't like hearing that. The reason being, they're acting like this fight with Feigenbutz was such a grueling fight. This was a stay busy fight. This was a setup fight for something else. Now, I'm sure they're trying to set him up for Benavidez. He called out Benavidez, right? So I'm sure that's the plan. But if Canelo comes calling, this is what I don't get about what's happening with Callum Smith and all these guys at 168 who are turning down career paydays to fight Canelo. Canelo is the big fish. Canelo is a superstar in boxing. He's the biggest name. So if he comes calling and you get a career payday and you turn it down, to me, that's ducking. And that is the big fish. That's the big payday. That's the big signature win for your career. So if you turn that down, I can't think other than you're scared of that fight. You just don't want any parts of Canelo. You just don't believe in yourself that you could beat him. And what Caleb Plant is saying, I'd much rather him say no. The plan is I want to beat Benavidez. I want to beat Callum Smith. I want to unify this division. And then we fight Canelo in 2021. I'd rather him just be honest than say, because I don't think Caleb Plant is afraid of Canelo. However, I'd rather him be honest than say, no, it's too quick of a turnaround. Too quick of a turnaround from what? This was a setup fight. And you get multiple weeks. You get about a month in between to recover from a setup fight before you have to start training for Canelo in May. So it's plenty enough time. This notion that these fighters are having to take 5-6 months in between training camps, taking a break from a setup fight. No, man. No, I can't give you a pass for that. So if Caleb Plant is using that as an excuse, no, I have to call him out for it, and I have to say, look, you're ducking Canelo. I'd rather you just be honest and say, I want to unify. I want Benavidez. I want these other guys at the top of 168. Then I'll fight Canelo, which I still don't understand, because if Canelo comes calling, you fight Canelo. But if they don't feel like they're ready, just be honest. Say, I want to unify, then I want that fight. Let's let it build. But other than that, man, I thought Caleb Plant looked really good. Really, really good. A lot to like about this guy. High ceiling, very athletic, high ring IQ, and very fast hands, good footwork. A lot to like about this guy. Great combination puncher, good offensive fighter. So a lot to like about Caleb Plant. He wins this fight by stoppage. I'm out. Peace.